Absolutely, under no circumstances are you to compare yourself to somebody who's been doing this for 25 years. If you have dreams, just go and learn everything that you can about what it is that you want to do and start doing it all the time.
Welcome to Dream Big with Big Dreamers, conversations for career growth, inspiration, and insight. It's time to dream big. Today's guest is Monika Demel, an internationally acclaimed portrait photographer and visual artist based in Chicago, but she travels worldwide for portrait work. She's won 14-plus Portrait Masters awards. She's had her work shown in the Louvre and brings over 24 years of creative leadership to her clients and craft. I'm excited about this conversation because staying creative and staying relevant is such a huge challenge, and Monika does both at the highest level. Monika, I always start by asking this. When was the first time you can remember dreaming big? How did it shape who you are today?
Well, that is an awesome question. I was an immigrant from Poland, and I remember I was always into drawing and, visual arts. And I came to America and I was babysitting for a couple, and I was in my teens, like probably 16 years old or something. And I remember the kids had gone to sleep and I was walking around the apartment and there was all these really cool drawings and gadgets and toys. And then I saw this ad mock-up, like a creative storyboard. And all of a sudden I was like, what is this? And I just got so excited about it. And I remember when they returned from their evening out, I was asking, just casually saying, oh, I couldn't help notice this drawing. What is that? And he was giving me the story behind it. And he's like, I'm in advertising. I'm a creative director. And as soon as he said it, in my head, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, that's it. That's like my big dream. Like my whole life, I was like, that's it. I was made for this.
And were you made for it because you were doodling and you were doing your own type of work like that, just naturally?
Yes, my whole world was an ad, and I didn't even understand what it was until I saw it in somebody else's home. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I was made to do. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. You've had work displayed at the Louvre and you've won so many awards. But in your words, it takes constant innovation to stay relevant. How do you keep pushing your creative edge?
In this business, 24 years is like multiple lifetimes. I've seen pretty much every single person that started out with me disappear. It's a very cutthroat business, but at the same time, in my opinion, it's all about connections with people. It's all about relationships.
Yeah.
And constantly staying ahead the pack. So that means I started out in film photography, but I was always curious about other things. So as digital came on the scene, I got my first digital camera and so forth, and trying new things and trying new ways and experimenting. I think keeping it fresh, keeping it new, but at the same time, thinking about what the people want too, because you can't forget about what the people want. And people get super duper creative sometimes, but nobody wants that. Like the average consumer is completely overwhelmed by that. So I think you have to keep it fresh, but at the same time, understand what your clients are actually wanting and delivering it.
Yeah. I know even with what I do, I'm always saying, in order for us to determine the message, we need to know what the target audience needs to know and wants to hear.
100%. 100%.
What has been the biggest reason for your enduring success in such a competitive, ever-changing industry?
I think the biggest reason is just that persistence, doing the things nobody wants to do and doing it when you're completely scared out of your freaking mind. Some people are scared out of their mind and they're like, oh, I'm never going to do this. And then they just stop. Mm-hmm. But the people who don't stop are the people who actually get there.
Yeah.
It's like biting one elephant. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time kind of thing, right? You just slowly keep walking ahead and keeping your eyes on the horizon. And even though you're in a lot of pain, there's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe you don't want to do that. It's uncomfortable. But if you keep going, you'll get there eventually.
Yeah. It's funny. My father used to say that to me. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? And in fact, it's a little bit of a morbid story, but it was January. I was a teenager. The ground was frozen solid, and our pet passed away. Our little dog had died. And my father and I had to go outside in the backyard and bury it. And we had shovels. And I remember the ground was frozen solid. And he said to me, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And we chipped in, both of us, and we dug that hole and we were able to lay her to rest. And I know it's morbid, but do you know, I think about that. When things get tough, it's just a little bit, a little bit, and a little bit, and you finally break through. And it's so weird when that happens. It's almost like you don't think you're making any progress until all of a sudden there's so much progress.
Yes, absolutely. I remember something just came to my mind, like as you were talking, which I'm so sorry that you lost your pet and had to go through
This
that.
was
That's
like
traumatic.
35, 40 years ago.
Yeah, still traumatic. Still, I remember I belonged to a bunch of different groups, and one of the groups, somebody was asking about, they needed a photographer to photograph a mural that somebody had painted on their wall because they were moving and they needed this mural photographed. Nobody wanted to do this job. And I remember saying, I'll do it. Now, I have never, ever photographed a mural on a wall. And I had no idea what I was walking into. As most things, like you just have no idea how much room you have, how much, this is in somebody's home. So you don't know, like, is there room to light this properly? I don't know. But I just said yes. And I figured it out. And I did the job. It ended up being like a $13,000 job when all was said and done. And you know what? I got it because everyone said no. They didn't want to take the risk.
Yeah.
I just took it. And I figured it out.
Yeah.
And I did it. And she was thrilled. She loved it. She was excited. We captured it exactly how she wanted it. And that's it. And I think sometimes it's also just saying yes and figuring out what you need to do.
So many entrepreneurs tell me that exact same thing. Now, you've said your superpower is leading with empathy. How does that show up in your work? How can others tap into that kind of connection?
Well, I have a degree in human behavior, so it's easier. Maybe for me, I come from when you're on the road driving and somebody's cutting in and out and somebody gets really upset, I always say like, oh, I wonder what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't realize like somebody is upset. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Maybe because somebody died in their family or they just got a bad diagnosis or you don't know what's going on in the person's life. And so leading with it, it's not all about me. It's about the other person is the way that you can connect with them and figure out a common ground and see what is happening with them. How can I make their day better? How can I make their life better or easier? What is it that's going to be the thing that helps me break through whatever they're hiding from me? Because I see everything. When I'm photographing somebody, I see all of it.
Yeah.
I see the things that they're not saying, the things they don't want to go to, I see it all. And I need to be able to connect with that person when I'm photographing them. Otherwise, the photos are not going to be genuine or authentic. And also that person's not going to like those photos because they're not going to see themselves the way that I see them. So it's really important to connect emotionally with the person I'm photographing. Every time I don't connect with them, it's not a good outcome. Yeah. So it's always imperative that that connection is made.
Do you think you see those battles that people are internally fighting? Is it because of your childhood and what you experienced?
Maybe that's a part of it. I think, my environment as a child, which is of course, half in another country, half in the United States, was filled with bullying and hate.
Yeah.
Lots of, when I came to America as a Polish person in the 80s, stupid Polak was a thing that people said everywhere, you're a dumper.
And you don't hear that anymore.
Of course not.
No. But I agree. In the 80s, 70s, 80s, it was always those jokes. They were all
like,
over the place.
Yeah. And it's because we grew up with such a huge amount of restrictions and such huge amounts of constant struggle, constant everything is just a big fight for anything, just anything getting in line, waiting all day for a piece of meat from the store. So I think that's part of it for sure. I've had a lot of different things happen throughout my life, which I think have made me I can relate to a lot of different people. I've gone through infertility. I've gone through domestic violence. I mean, there's so many different things that I've experienced. And I am not a victim mindset person. So it's not, but I can relate and I understand where people are at and I can meet them where they are. And I think that's the key to helping connect with them.
Absolutely. Many creative entrepreneurs struggle with the ups and downs of building a long-term career. What role has persistence and perseverance played for you?
I think I never set out to have a long career and I never set out to be a photographer. So for me, it's just doing my best at every single time that I pick up that camera and I have an assignment. I'm always striving to do my very best for that client. And I just keep walking. That's it. And I don't really, it's never been like, oh, 10, 15, 20 years out. It's always been like, what's in front of me now? I'm just going to deal with this one thing at a time, doing my best for that client and doing my best for the next one and the next one and the next one.
Imagine you're at the end of your life looking back. What legacy, Monika, do you most want to leave? And how are you working towards that today?
I just love this question. This is probably my favorite question of all time, because if you don't think about the end, how do you know where you want to be today? So I think it really is simplicity. So when you think about the end, most people, if you think about it, in 100 years, won't even remember any of us down here. Won't even remember anything about us. So it's not so much what I want to leave behind, because I have a family. I have 7 grandkids at this point. I think it's just bringing joy to people, however small or big ways that I can. It's filling their lives, their mundane moments with joy, and bringing somebody joy. It's what makes me have joy, because I can do something. If I can do something, I will. And I hope that makes sense. But it's not such a big thing, but at the end of it, if you do these little things, they all kind of add up. It's accumulative, you know?
Yeah.
And
kind
so
of like what
then,
we were saying before, right? These eating the elephant, it's these just little things that suddenly become huge.
Yeah, it's accumulative. It's like somebody told me one time, it's not like how much of this you eat. It's that you're eating so much of this over so many years, right? It's the same thing. If every day you do one good thing for someone, however small, that's 365 a year.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So that's the way I look at it.
You've already achieved so much, but what's one big dream you're chasing next?
Well, I've always loved Italy big time. I say that I may be 100% Polish, but my heart is 100% Italian. 1,000%. When I went to Italy for the first time, I was like, these are my people. And I've always been like, just considering how to make that dream a reality. How can I get myself there? How can I get on the next plane and get over there? Because they have it right. It's not how much work you can do. It's just enjoying being in the moment, having that espresso, having that joy in the moment, just enjoying it, enjoying the weather, enjoying the pastries, enjoying the food. It's like, it's all together. And it's a slow pace. And I think that's what life is about, embracing the slow pace, embracing the moment, and being kind.
That's beautiful. For any creative listening today who might be doubting their own path, what advice would you give them about dreaming big and staying the course?
Well, I would say absolutely under no circumstances are you to compare yourself to somebody who's been doing this for 25 years. If you have dreams, just go and learn everything that you can about what it is that you want to do and start doing it all the time. You have to, it's like who was it that said you have to put in your 10,000 hours? I fully
I
believe
think it's
that.
Malcolm Gladwell. Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell, one of my favorites. And you just do it. You just keep doing it. Maybe you do an hour here, you do an hour there. You just keep going and do it for the joy of it. Don't worry about making money with it. Just do it because you love it. Just keep going and just trying it and learn. Like for me, when I got my camera, I learned everything you possibly can about that camera. It's not so much about photography, but like, what is the capability of that instrument that you have in your hand? How far can you push it? And when you have that knowledge and you know how many things you can do with it, then you can go and be like, oh, this camera can do that. Let's try this. Oh, I can do double exposures in my camera. Let's go try that out. And you keep going and just keep trying and just figure it out, because every camera that you get after that, you're going to gain more knowledge about how much further that instrument can take you. It's like any instrument, like when you're playing the violin or the piano. Learn your capability. Start out small, but then you can do many things. You can build on it.
Monika, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Where can our listeners connect with you and see your beautiful work?
Thank you so much for having me, Donna. I really appreciate it. You can find my work at demelportraits.com. That's where most of my portrait work lives, or Creative M Studios is where my commercial and corporate work lives.
And to everyone listening, remember, no dream is too big if you lead with vision, empathy, and perseverance. Go out there and make it happen. Thank you so much, Monika. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Donna.